Coco Gauff makes history, advances to third round at China Open. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Night had fallen over Beijing, and the lights of the National Tennis Center glistened like diamonds scattered across the dark sky. The China Open wasn't just another tournament. It was one of the biggest stages in the sport, a proving ground where champions forge their legacies. And there she was, Coco Gauff, just 21 years old, but already a name that stirred excitement wherever tennis was spoken. She had conquered the U.S. Open, claimed multiple titles, and stood as the face of the sport's future. Yet tonight carried a different weight. This was about history, about pushing beyond the usual narratives of talent and potential, and etching her name into something far greater, the permanent memory of the game. Advancing to the third round may have seemed routine for the world's top players. But for Coco, the way she did it, the records it represented, and the story it told, it became historic. The evolution of Coco. Coco Gauff's journey was never quiet. From the age of 15, when she stunned Venus Williams at Wimbledon, the spotlight had followed her relentlessly. She was not just a tennis player. She was a phenomenon. Headlines called her the future. Fans called her the next Serena, and brands lined up with contracts that had dwarfed her years. But Coco never wanted to be the next anyone. She wanted to be Coco. And Beijing was the latest chapter in her evolution. The pressure was heavier than the racket in her hands. Every match was a test of not just her skills, but her maturity, her ability to balance expectations with the raw joy of the game. Tonight, stepping into the China Open second round, Coco looked calm, composed, and quietly burning with fire. The opponent, across the net, stood a seasoned competitor. Experienced, dangerous, unafraid of reputation. Players facing Coco knew they had nothing to lose, and that made them even more dangerous. This wasn't a match Coco could stroll through. She would need patience, resilience, and her signature spark. The explosive forehand, the lightning-quick defense, the ability to turn defense into offense in the blink of an eye. From a very first rally, it was clear her opponent came to fight. The first set, power and precision. The opening set was tennis at its purest, a duel of wills. Coco's serve cracked like a gunshot, reaching 120 miles per hour, while her backhand, a shot honed through years of discipline, drove through the Beijing night air with precision. The rallies were electric, the crowd rising with every point, gasping at every winner. At 4-4, the breakthrough came. Coco, moving with the grace of a dancer and the speed of a sprinter, chased down a drop shot and flicked a passing shot winner that landed squarely on the line. She screamed, pumping her fist, the crowd erupting in cheers. 2 games later, she closed the set 6-4. The first step toward history was hers. The second set battle. But history never comes easy. Her opponent, refusing to fade, unleashed her best tennis in the second set. Winners zipped past Coco's racket. Break points loomed like storm clouds. For the first time all evening, doubt crept into the arena. Coco's expression tightened. She tugged at her visor, bounced the ball deliberately before serving. Each point became a war of nerves. At 3-3, she faced breakpoint. The rally stretched. 20 strokes, each one sharper than the last. Finally, Coco ripped a forehand down the line that painted the chalk. The stadium shook. She had saved it. From there, she turned the tide. Her footwork sharpened, her strokes steadied. With one final booming ace, Coco sealed the match. 6-4, 6-3. History confirmed. The scoreboard flashed her victory, but the deeper story was already forming in whispers and headlines. This one wasn't just another step into the third round. It marked her as the youngest player since Caroline Wozniacki to reach 150 hardcourt victories. It placed her alongside legends in the company of history makers. At 21, she had achieved milestones that most players only dream of across their entire careers. And yet, she was still only beginning. The crowd's roar. The Beijing crowd knew they had witnessed something special. They rose to their feet, applauding, chanting her name in unison. Coco! 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 She waved, smiling, her shoulders glistening with sweat. She lingered on the court a moment longer, soaking it in, the love, the energy, the validation that her hard work, her sacrifices, were paying off. In her press conference later, she would be humble, talking about just taking it one match at a time. But here, in this moment, her eyes betrayed something greater: pride, hunger, destiny. The media storm. Overnight, the headlines were everywhere. Coco Gauff makes history in Beijing. The future is now. Gauff advances with record-breaking win. U.S. star continues phenomenal rise on the WTA Tour. Social media exploded. Fans posted highlight reels of her blistering forehand, her defensive masterclasses, her smile as she waved to the crowd. Young kids posted videos imitating her strokes on cracked courts across the world. It wasn't just about Coco anymore. It was about the movement she was sparking, the inner voice. Later, alone in her hotel room, Coco replayed the match in her mind. The missed shots, the crowd's energy, the records mentioned in her interviews. She knew history was important, but she also knew the journey wasn't over. Third round is great, she whispered to herself, but I'm not stopping here. Her notebook, lying open on the desk, bore a list of goals. Win another slam. Reach world number 1. Inspire the next generation. This night, check one box. Inspire. Beyond the numbers. The numbers told part of the story. 150 hardcourt wins. The youngest achieve it in more than a decade. But history is never just about stats. It's about impact. Coco Gauff represented more than a tennis star. She was a symbol of possibility, of what happens when talent meets discipline. When a young girl with big dreams believes in herself despite the weight of expectation. In the crowd that night were children clutching rackets, parents whispering, "That could be you someday." Coco wasn't just advancing in a tournament. She was advancing hope. The journey continues. The road ahead wouldn't be easy. Bigger challenges awaited in the next rounds. Fiercer opponents, higher stakes. But Coco Gauff had already proven something more valuable than a single win. She could carry the pressure, make history, and still smile at the end of it. Her story was far from finished. And as the Beijing night faded into dawn, the tennis world understood that what they had witnessed wasn't just another victory. It was the beginning of something larger, something destined to echo in the sport for years to come. Epilogue. History, heart, and the future. Coco Gauff made history that night, not because she advanced to the third round. One day, when Coco looks back on her career, Beijing 2025 may not be the biggest title she won, but it will be one of the nights she realized the truth. History isn't just written in finals. It's written in every match, every milestone, every step forward. And Coco Gauff, under the lights of the China Open, was writing hers with power, grace, and unshakable belief. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.